Where's Waldo? Canooch in the house. Oh hi. Getting set up. Throw any links into the chat or Discord. Discord. https discord gg beignet tridix 8. I might get into some trouble tonight. Ooh. Yeah, check the title. Let's get cancelled. Look at me, mom, I am dual stream in. Amazing. Hacks. More sock puppets. More. What's food for the Elon is good for the gander. Good for damn autocorrect. Even Canooch is powerless to the autocorrect.
Oh, hi. How you doing? How's it going? My name is Waldo. My hair is silly. Hang on. Gotta press it down or else it looks ridiculous. The headphones push forward a little bit. Anyway,
It's a
what's up?
force older than Stream In.
It's true. Autocorrect is very dangerous. No one can avoid it. It is coming for all of us eventually. The autocorrect will kill us all eventually. Hi, how's it going? So, some things happened. My name is Waldo. I'm here to feel the politics with you. And sometimes the politics is bad. Sometimes the politics is strange. Sometimes the politics is hot. Tonight, it's very spicy. Very spicy politics tonight. Um, I picked the title for the stream, and I do not apologize. It's okay to make this joke. It really is. I'm gonna make several jokes, and it's okay. And I'm gonna tell you why closer to the end, after I get yelled at and canceled, perhaps. So let's hop in, uh, out of the frying pan, as they say, to this story. This is it right here. We go to game capture. We turn that off, and then we turn on window capture on. We bring up this window. We go here. We go here, and we use the drop down to click on that one right there. There it is. Protester critically injured after setting himself on fire outside Israel consulate in Atlanta. So, that's not a good thing. I don't suggest anybody does this. This is actually what I would call not a good move. Um, so we've got some hot takes about this. Yeah, we've got some uh, feelings, some very spicy feelings. So let's find out what he did and check a real quick little picture. This isn't, I don't think, the worst picture, but let's see if we got the photo. Here we go. There's a photo of him. I don't think that that's going to get me kicked off, but the later photos and the full video probably would. But what we're going to do is not show that again. Just a quick uh, visual. It is a YouTube stream and a Twitch stream and a Kick stream. So who is that? That is a young man named Aaron Bushnell. He was an airman with the Air Force, and he decided, in a very extreme protest, to douse himself with gasoline and then light himself on fire while screaming "Free Palestine." He this is old. Wait, how is this December 2nd? Oh, this is an old one. Jeez. This has happened multiple times. Look how stupid I am. All right, so let's move on to the one that happened today. Aaron Bushnell, Air Force member who set himself on fire outside Israel embassy, went to school in Massachusetts. Why did it matter what school he went to? Shut up, stupid internet. Um, let's see. He live streamed Twitch video shared with CBS News. Shows a man identifying himself as an active duty member of the United States Air Force. I watched the full video just so you don't have to. Before setting himself on fire, he said he would no longer be complicit in genocide and that he was about to engage in an extreme act of protest. So he did that intentionally. This isn't. That's why. Um, that's why I'm going to suggest it's okay to joke about and make this very off-color, bad, spicy joke and have a bunch of hot takes about it because this isn't an accident. He's not a victim. He did this on purpose so that we would talk about it, so that you and I would hear about it, and we would look at each other and have a nice, frank discussion. So, and that's why I say it's okay to make the jokes and to title the stream as I did today. I'm okay with that. I don't apologize. Uh, uh, it's okay. It's fine, and I'll defend it. Don't don't flame me. Just see. I could do this all night. I'm on fire. The Gaza Ministry of Health says that nearly 30,000 have died in Gaza since Hamas' October 7th attack on Israel. Uh, so is this just it about him? All right, we're not going to talk about him anymore. Okay, I don't know what this site is. I've never been to this website before, so go easy on me if it turns out that they're bad. So there he is. An active duty U.S. soldier on Sunday set himself on fire as an act of protest against U.S.-Israeli war in Palestine people and the Palestine people. Huh. I don't think this is written in English. According to the Atlanta Community Press Collective, police were on scene within seconds. It began. Some police officers pointed firearms at the burning protester, while others called for fire extinguishers. I did watch the video, and there was one guy pointing a gun at him, uh, which has been turned into its own set of memes in the really worst parts of the internet. They cut out the guy who was pointing the gun at the charred corpse, and they put him in other posts because that's slightly funny. Police were not able to extinguish the fire until after the protester collapsed. The Metropolitan Police Department confirmed the protester was taken to a local hospital and remains in critical condition. He died. This is an older report. He did not survive. In a live stream video just prior to the setting himself on fire, the protester stated, "I am about to engage in an extreme act protest, but compared to what the people have been experiencing in Palestine at the hands of their colonizers, it is not extreme at all." Um, Secret Service officers, Metro Police, who were present at the scene, watched for a full minute, saying, "May I help you, sir?" I don't know if it was a full minute. They didn't know what he was doing. They just saw him in uniform and he was standing there. And they said, "Can I help you, sir? What's going on? Do you need help? What's going on, sir? Are you okay?" And then he finally got it lit. And as he's on fire, scream at him to get on the ground. They told him to get on the ground, but he did not. Uh, One cop appears with a gun drawn on the man after he collapses, still consumed by the flames. Self-immolation is an extreme form of protest and self-sacrifice that became known worldwide during the Vietnam War. Where? Interesting. Way to go, AI. When a number of Buddhist monks and nuns set themselves on fire, leaving behind messages to survivors to stop the bloodshed and end the war. This is the second American self-immolate in response to the ongoing atrocities in Gaza, which are being carried out by Israel military and U.S. funding and weapons. On December 1st, which is the one I had up on a minute ago, a protester with a Palestinian flag self-immolated outside an Israeli consulate in Atlanta, Georgia. A security guard tried to put out the fire but was burned and had to be hospitalized. Okay, so nobody got hurt in this one. So what do we think? Any hot takes? Anybody? Any burning opinions? No. Um, he got his message across. I don't think it's a great idea. I don't think that it's the way we ought to do protests. Uh, I'm all over to. Oh yeah, I'm getting canceled. I don't care. Um, I'm thinking of other jokes, but I've been writing jokes for a little while. If he were the victim of some sort of heinous crime, I wouldn't make jokes. But he's not the victim. He did this to himself. He wanted this to happen. Uh, I need to stop. Drop and roll. You're right. Uh, stop. Um, so yes, why did he do this? He really, 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 really wanted us to notice. That makes people notice. Dousing yourself with gasoline and lighting the match makes people notice. So, what does he want us to notice? He wants us to notice that the American military is still funding and giving weapons to Israel, who are then just using it to do a genocide. It's not good. We don't like it when they do that. We would like them to stop. But I think that we can't tell them to stop, or none of our politicians can. Joe Brandon is terrified to be called an anti-Semite. He really is. He is worried, absolutely, that he will be flamed and uh, insulted and called an anti-Semite by the people on in the middle, which is who he needs to win. He needs the middle to think that he's a better choice. Donald Trump, on the other hand, would be doing exactly the same thing, maybe even more. Why do I think that? I think because Donald Trump is an idiot, and he will be tricked by Netanyahu into believing that everyone in Palestine is a terrorist. You would ask him, Mr. Trump, Mr. Trump, how what do you have to say to the thousands of children that have died? And he would say, they're terrorist children. Those are terrorists. That's what he would tell you. He would look you right into the camera and be like, yes, 30,000 people died there, and they're terrorists. That's what he would tell you. I can't do it. Can I? Should I do the voice? Folks, listen. These 30,000 Palestinians who died, they were terrorists. They were the worst terrorist babies you've ever imagined. Bigly terrorist babies. That's what he would do, and it would happen anyway. This is going to happen, and there's nothing you can do but watch. Just like this guy who lit himself on fire. You can't stop it. You can't prevent it. He can't stop it. Him setting himself on fire is not going to stop this. All you can do is watch. There is, as far as I know, no other option. Uh, the the Dems are going to accept it because they don't want to be called anti-Semites, and the right is going to accept it because they're going to say that they're getting rid of terrorists. I can't think of a third option. Maybe vote for leftists, but there aren't any of those. That's not a choice, apparently, within the political spectrum that exists within America. Maybe, if enough people push for leftism, then we will get more leftist politicians, and they won't accept this. And maybe we can move those Dems a little bit further to the left. That would be nice. But honestly, I don't think it's going to happen. And this might lead to a very heated debate, but I don't think it will. I think this is a uh, hot topic for a couple of days, and then it goes away. Um, Honestly, I don't think anybody will remember this a couple of weeks from now or ever talk about it again. And I'm going to remember watching it and seeing it and see what he said, but will it make a difference? I don't think it will. I don't think it will. Uh, Giant protests happen all the time. There were many protests around the world about this, and I don't think anything's going to happen. I don't think the Americans would protest it. I think there's been some protests, and I've seen some coverage of Free Palestine rallies and things like that, but they're not going to do anything because they're poor people in a crappy part of the world. The the politics is not meant to serve them. It's just not. I wish it were. I wish it could be, but it won't be. Um, I was on a different Twitch channel the other day talking to a guy, and uh, yeah, personally, I think Gaddafi ate a couple of potato chips during his hunger strike. He might have. Free Palestine protests blocked some traffic here in Seattle. Yeah, they blocked some traffic. That was it. The end. Nothing else. As soon as they were done, as soon as they could be shuffled off, they shuffled off, and then that was it. And that was the end. I don't think that this is going to turn anybody around. I don't think this is going to convince Joe Brandon that he needs to change course. I don't. I think the course has been set, and the course is do whatever you have to do, Netanyahu. That is what our American politics is telling him, because there's nothing he can do about it. Joe Brandon is terrified to be called an anti-Semite. He really is. It's not going to convince Israel either. Yeah, exactly. They don't mind. They're the ones doing the genocide. We would like them to stop. We could unfund them. We could take away all their weapons and not give them any more and tell them to stop. But then the people who don't like Joe Biden, doesn't matter who they are, they will just say, oh, well, you weakened America. You weakened our ally. Things like that. Because you can't have a well thought out, nuanced discussion about this. Everything has to be a side, and everyone not on your side is a Nazi. That is the political universe we're in right now. Planet Sega Saturn. That's a nice planet. Netanyahu said that if the communists in the U.S. self-immolate while screaming free Palestine, he will stop the bombardment of Gaza. What's your excuse? Do you not want peace? Yeah. Um, that sounds unlikely. Uh, said that. Yeah, that sounds like not a thing that he would do. Um, so yeah, there's no way to make it better. You can't do anything. Neither can I. All we can do is watch as systems and politicians, much bigger than us, smash people. There's nothing you can do about it. We can't make them stop. They won't stop. Nobody can stop the Israeli military in this situation. Nobody's going to try. Nobody's going to attempt it. Nobody's going to do it, and there's nothing that can be done. The they the Israeli Defense Force wants these uh, Palestinians gone, and if that means they bomb the place and then move them out, then that's what they'll do. If that means they push them into the desert where they starve, then that's what they'll do. And there's nothing we can do about it. Planet Sega Saturn has an idea. Um, hey, give us your hot take. Wink, wink. I'm going to get the next story ready while you type up your idea. Okay. Come on, internet. I'm getting the next one ready. Let's see, reload, see if I can't get out here. There we go. Wow, I scrolled all the way to the bottom on this one. How about we stop funding all countries' militaries by electing a president who prioritizes America first? Um, America first is generally code for nationalism. And I don't think nationalism is a good idea. Anybody who uses the term, unironically, America first, generally a nationalist. And even some of them are white nationalists. I don't think that's a good idea either. Oh, it's not code. I support nationalism for every country. Great. Well, that nationalism is, I don't think nationalism is a good idea. I think it is isolating and dangerous. Uh, Nations are a great idea. All right, that's not what nationalism means, Popog. Nationalism is far more dangerous than globalism. The globalists are coming for you, folks. They want to dissolve all the borders and force you to live in a pod and eat the bugs. George Soros will be in charge of the entire globalist government. They want to make everybody speak the same language. Sounds like some New World Order shit. Yeah, it does. The globalist New World Order, they're coming for you. That nations exist independently of whether or not we think it's a good idea. Great. Well, we can make them better. What we don't want is solid, harsh, um, uh, nation versus nation. That will be backward. That would move us backward as a species, I would think. We have tried that, and it leads to the kind of a balkanization kind of thing. Globalism is great and based and awesome, and uh, I not tomorrow, but in the future of humanity, I completely support the idea of having no borders. Uh, let's make it to where you can just go anywhere and be okay. There will be different laws. Trade wise, It's based for global trade is the thing that leads to world peace. Yes, I said it, and I'm not gonna apologize. Policy-wise, it's garbage. I think you can have policies and you can have a border and then free trade in between all those things. I think free trade actually leads us towards world peace. If China doesn't want to go to war with us because they'll lose money, that's a good thing. If Russia were terrified of losing a bunch of money and so they don't invade Ukraine, that's a good thing. That's fantastic. But nationalism, taken to the extreme, I think would set those borders, and then anyone who is missing a thing, anybody who doesn't have a thing that they want, will go and take it. Free
Turn the friggin' frogs gay!
Planet Sega Saturn, you just turned a frog gay. Are you proud of yourself? Are you happy by turning that frog gay? I'm proud of you. Good job. I appreciate it. Free trade is absolutely the path to world peace, and yet another reason capitalism is based. And I'm okay with. I don't hate capitalism. I know, Popog. I know it does seem like I do, but I think that it has fulfilled its purpose. It has moved us as far forward as it can. It is now eating its own tail. We are at the end of capitalism. We are at the end of what good capitalism can do. And I know that I do complain about it an awful lot. I do. I really do. I see where Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs here, and they said globalism a good thing, followed for the entertainment. That's what we're here for. Planet Sega Saturn, the entertainment. I appreciate it. Thank you. Um, so let's jump on to the next. What else is in the news tonight? One of Trump's big election fraud lawyers just got caught in a big lie. So this is Kenneth Cheesebro. Cheesebro. Kenneth Cheesebro um, has lied a lot. Kenneth Cheesebro had a secret Twitter feed that undermines the core of his legal defense. uh, let's see. Donald Trump ally Kenneth Cheesebro is suddenly up to his neck in his own legal troubles. On Monday, the architect of Trump's 2020 fake elector plot was discovered to have been lying to Michigan prosecutors. Always a bad idea. Don't lie to prosecutors. About his social media presence at the time, hiding the presence of an account with dozens of posts that reveal his role in the plot and illustrate a far more aggressive election subversion strategy. So he used a sock puppet to try and rig the election. That's cool. Uh, in a recording of Cheesebro's interview with Michigan investigators obtained by the outlet, Cheesebro repeatedly denied having any social media presence or alternative identities online, claiming that he didn't do any tweeting. But attorneys for Cheesebro have since confirmed the presence of one such hidden ID to CNN. If the outlet tried to the anonymous account Badger Pundit. I was hoping for a better name, but Badger Pundit, okay. To the Trump ally via matching biographical information regarding his work, family travels, and investments, and its noticeable interest in the Electoral College process. Okay, so Kenneth Cheesebro puts on a sock puppet that's called Badger Pundit, and now we think that he's more involved with the fake electors than he has been telling the prosecutors. Don't lie to prosecutors, folks. This is legal advice. Don't lie to prosecutors. I think I'm safe on this one. Opog, let me know if I'm wrong. Uh, let's see. What else we got? We've got. See if there's anything more. That could mean bad news for Cheesebro, who struck a plea deal in Trump's Georgia election interference case and has so far managed to skirt charges in other states, impacted by the fake elector scheme thanks to the cooperation with prosecutors. Cheesebro appears to have pursued a legally perilous path in his dealings with Michigan authorities. Uh, let's see. Cheesebro's at great legal risk. So the Twitter post strongly suggests Cheesebro committed the crime of making false statements to investigators. His entire cooperation agreement may now fall apart. Ooch. Popog, thank you. It's a pretty solid pro tip. Do not lie to prosecutors. Do not lie to investigators. Do not lie to the court. Uh, I'm pretty safe, and I think that's a good plan. Kenneth Cheesebro not following that plan. He's not following that plan. So his plea deals could fall apart if you make a plea deal and then we find out later that you've been lying to the court. and to the prosecutors and to the things, and then they find it, like they could undo that plea deal in the past. I think I mean, damn, cheese, bro, man, damn, cheese, bro. Okay, all right. What else is in the news? Pow. Let's get. That was the wrong button. Jack Smith says that handling of classified docs was far worse than Biden's. So Trump's handling was far worse than Biden's. I knew that, but now everybody gets to know. Um, oops, I keep hitting the wrong buttons tonight. In a new filing in Trump's Florida case, Smith cited Robert Hur's report on Joe Biden's retention of classified material. So yeah, Robert Hur put out that report a couple weeks ago. Most plea deals have a so-called takesy-backsies clause for lying. That makes sense. I love the system. The system seems to be working. I love it when a system comes together. So, Special Counsel Jack Smith on Monday that said that President Joe Biden's handling of classified documents, which earned him a scolding from Special Counsel Robert Hur, is not remotely similar to the deceitful criminal conduct of Donald Trump. And there's the difference. You see, when somebody complains, both sides are the same, everybody's corrupt. You could be like, no, man, no. Joe Biden's handling was not remotely similar to the deceitful criminal conduct of Donald Trump. It's true that Joe Brandon mishandled the classified documents. It was an accident, and when he was told, he tried to fix it and make it better. Donald Trump intentionally took them. That's the accusation anyway. And then he lied about having them. And then when people tried to get them back, he gave them some, but not all, and then lied about having more, and then tried to hide them from the people with subpoenas to go get them. There is a difference between these two situations. There is a difference between these two these two men. One of them is an accident-prone old man, and the other is a criminal. Deceitful criminal conduct. There's a difference between the two. Accidentally running a red light is different than seeing it, saying, I ain't got no time for that shit, and hitting the gas. Two different things. Maybe the same crime, but two different things. Accident is probably not in the accurate characterization if you believe the Hur report. The Hur report, for the little bits that I saw, I didn't read the whole damn thing, but it's in his garage, probably because the people put it there. One of his staff put it there by accident because they didn't know what they were doing, or they didn't know what to do with it. They're busy, they're tired, they don't know what's going on. They just put it in there, and the others were found in an office that he used. So he brought it there. His staff brought it there, and then he had it there, and they used it, and then they just left it there, and then they left the office and they left the box behind. That's not intentionally, willingly lying and hiding when you get the subpoenas. So what's the point? Why am I bringing this up? Both sides are not the same. Certainly his reaction was less criminal, that too. So both sides are not the same. One side is literally worse. And that irritates me that people online, through exhaustion, and I understand why, or just a simple not giving a damn, think that both sides are bad, both sides are evil, both sides are criminals, and nobody can be trusted. Well, not quite true. Do the Democrats commit crimes? Sometimes, yes, they do things wrong. They do commit crimes, and they do try to cover it up. But the Republicans do it far more often, far worse. And that is everything that I keep not seeing. And did I count them all out? No. But I'm thinking that one of these men is worse than the other. And it's not both sides the same. It's not same on both sides. It's not everybody's crooked and burn it all down. We're making I'm on fire tonight. That's not the way you ought to be doing it. So that irritates me when anybody says that. When I hear people online say things like, "Everybody sucks, everybody's crooked," let's um, let's get rid of all of them. It just bothers me. So what is this? The MAGA enemies list is growing, and so are the odds that you're on it. I did not read this ahead of time. I'm looking at this blind. I did not pre-read this. I saw that headline, and I said, ooh, am I on the enemies list? I probably am. I just supported globalism. I have to be on the enemies list, right? And I'm going to get canceled for my title and making fun of a guy who lit himself on fire. So the MAGA enemies list is growing, and so are the odds that you're on it. What is this? As a Republican primary slog towards the climax of a likely Trump nomination, I can't help thinking that we as a country are still dramatically underreacting to the MAGA threat. The fact that Trump has made even this far is proof of that. Who wrote this? Let's find out. Svante Mirik. Opinion. Okay. Opinion, guys. Be careful. Opinion. Giggity. Climaxes. Okay. When will he wake up? When will we wake up? I'll say this. One thing that wakes you up is seeing your name on an enemies list. When I was 12, Columbine school happened. A troubled kid in New York Upstate was apparently influenced by the shooting and decided to make his own list of kids he wanted to shoot with a rifle he already owned. I was the black kid at the school, and I was first on his list. Fortunately, administrators found out before anything had happened. I don't know what ultimately happened to the boy later in life, but I do know that he was taken out of our school. Meanwhile, I found out how scary it felt to have my name on a list like that. Uh, so I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing at chat. Um, so I wonder how many Americans realize that they're on Trump's enemy list. And I wonder if our collective response would be different if more people knew that they could be targeted and their lives upended. To find out who's targeted, all you have to do is refer to the 900-page mandate for leadership. See, I've read the Project 2025. It doesn't have a list of names. Um, the project, backed by multi-million-dollar war chest, has been described as a plan that would enable Trump to wield virtually unchecked power over the executive branch and the federal government and allow him to use it as a weapon against personal enemies, political opponents, and the media. That is true. This is an accurate description of the thing. And while it started to get while it's starting to get more attention, I'm surprised at how little everyday Americans know about it. Okay, boss, everyday Americans don't watch the news or the politics. Certainly Trump's highest profile political opponents know they would be in the crosshairs of a weaponized Department of Justice because the plans call for total presidential control of the executive departments would end 50 years of independent Department of Justice, and journalists know about it. Millions of people who must have voted for Trump, who want access to no-fault divorce, birth control, or fertility care, such as in vitro fertilization, all these things, and of course abortion, could be off the table under 2025, Project 2025, called for the government power to be deployed to restore the American family. Yeah, I've read a bunch of the stuff about here, and so this guy's just complaining about it. You should complain about Project 2025. I read it. It's terrible. Um, Tony, is this a free speech chat or is this a place for leftist eunuchs? Well, you're free to be one of those if you'd like to be. I'm not going to stop you. The Project 2025, of what I've read, is bad. It's the dumbest shit you've ever seen. Yeah, I read a bunch of it. I've read it online on stream and made some videos about it. It is bad. It is totalitarianism. It is authoritarianism. It just gives the president, whoever it is, the Republic, if they're Republican, of course, the authority to do everything they want. And I don't know if they actually have that authority. They try and pass that stuff, and it just a lot of it wouldn't happen in a normal system. But I have a funny feeling they would toss out anybody who says no. So it actually like calls for ideological testing before you hire someone at the DOJ. Ideological testing before you hire a person at the government. So who did you vote for? What what stances do you take on these social issues? Where do you stand on gay marriage? Okay, you're for gay marriage? Well, you can't be hired here. You can't work at the government. You're out. And that's insane. It's for the right individual to become a eunuch regardless of their political beliefs. Yeah, exactly. You're allowed to. Nobody's going to stop you. So, because of their. And here's the thing Thomas has said to me, and he said it a couple of days ago. He's not here to defend himself, so I'm going to talk shit about him. Uh, he said that Donald Trump didn't get a lot of things done in his first term, and I think he's right. I think that's only because Donald Trump didn't think he was going to win. Donald Trump in 2019, 2020 completely thought he was going to lose. He had packed it up. He had given up. He fired Chris Christie, which was the transition coordinator for us to transition from. Uh, I know they're trans now. No, Chris Christie trans now. No, no, no. He was going to transition from all the promises you make in a campaign transition to working in the White House. He was in charge of hiring the people, making sure the staff was there, putting the people in the right places, and figuring out who was going to work on each staff. They fired him because they thought they were going to lose. And because they didn't, surprise to everyone involved, um, including Hillary, who's probably still like looking at a map and hitting F5 on a red and blue map, trying to figure out what went wrong. She's still there. Because they didn't expect to win. They didn't have this plot together. They didn't have this Project 2025 plan in place, ready to roll. They do now. And I think that when Thomas tells me, oh, well, Trump didn't get much done, and all the crazy things he tried to do, they just got shot down by the courts, that won't happen again. If he wins, he will get 2020, he would get that Project 2025 in place, and anyone who stands in his way will be removed from the government, whether they're legally allowed to or not. And Unitary Executive Theory, Center for Project 2025, would lose 9-0 on the SCOTUS immediately. And I'm going to go full conspiracy theorist on you, Popog. 9 of those people would be removed, and 9 new ones would be brought in. Yes, they would. Uh, uh, Tony Belendo, that's a terrible take. You're in, you sound like a misogynist. That's not a good idea. You should work on that. Um, so Popok, yeah, 9-0. They would drop it, and then he would boot them out, bring in 9 new people. You think Trump is going to go FDR? Yeah, yes, he will fill every position with people who have been ideologically chosen, and he will decide that if you are not on his team, you are not in the government. He will start ideologically testing people. Who did you vote for last time? Who did you vote for in 2000? Who did you vote for in 2004? Who did you vote for in 2012? Oh, wrong. And there will be wrong answers, and those people will be removed from the government. Um, I see him as more of an Andrew Jackson type. Maybe. Andrew Jackson. In what way, Popog? I'm not super familiar with Andrew Jackson himself. If you're watching, if you're paying attention, hop into chat, give us your hot takes. It is a night for hot takes, and flame each other by all means. Uh, Very spicy chat tonight. I appreciate everybody who's here. Click the follow button, click the subscribe button, click the thumbs up buttons, click all the buttons. If you see a button, click it, except for the X. Don't click that one. Uh, uh,
Turn the friggin' frogs gay.
KBP on Twitch is now following. Thank you, KBP on Twitch. I wonder who that could be. I appreciate that. Oh, boss, thank you. Dude, I got 4 uh, compliments while I was in Vegas a couple weeks ago about these sideburns. Look at these things. Anyway, I was in Vegas 2 weeks ago, and I got like 4 compliments on these things. And I was doing a interview at work, and the interviewee came in and was like, "I love those sideburns." So I was like, "Yes, you get a job now." So the Trail of Tears was deemed illegal by the SCOTUS. Jackson responded, apocryphal but still Representative John Marshall made his decision. Now let him enforce it. Yeah, I could see sort of those things happening. Um, yes, you're right. And I could see something along those lines happening where Donald Trump says, here's the rules, here's the laws, here's what we're going to do. And then they go and do it. And if the Supreme Court says, no, that's illegal, they might just keep doing it. You know? Um, That's what I'm worried about is, hey, yeah, Nancy, this is the smartass remark that I keep making, that Donald Trump will push full-on authoritarianism, and Nancy Pelosi will write a strongly worded letter. Donald Trump will load millions of people into trains to deport them, and Nancy Pelosi will write a strongly worded letter. That's the extreme that I am suggesting. Bro looks like he's about to deny Oliver Twist more porridge. It's true. He came to me and asked for more, and I told him no. I told him to pull himself up by his bootstraps. You know. Where's your money, Oliver Twist? Give me tuppence. Tuppence. Where's your tuppence, Oliver Twist? And you can have more porridge as soon as you pay for it. I have just turned on our Lord and Savior Lady Canooch. So anybody typing into chat, she will read your feelings to us. And that's what we do here. Is you have feelings, Lady Canooch will read them.
Canooch.
Canooch, there she is, the Lady Canooch. And I'm
Lady
gonna
Canooch.
Lady Canooch, our Lord and Savior, wonderful lady that she is. I'm gonna start a video game, and we can just kind of jam for a little bit. Tell me what you're feeling. Tell me what you're thinking. Give me all your hot, steamy takes. And
Why weren't you born with a trust fund, Twist? Are you one of those poors?
it's true. Oliver Twist should have been born
Bro looks like he's
richer.
about to pop wheelies on a penny farthing.
Oh, indubitably. How very cromulent of you, Tony. Highly cromulent. Uh, I give my wife shit and tell her that I'm gonna like turn it into a mustache. I'm not, but I keep telling her I'm going to, because I think it's funny.
Check out Waldo's videos https www.youtubecom at Waldo Videos. Penny farthing gotta do at least a dime farthing unless you're one of the poors Shinsinto was talking about.
That's true. I'm a rich bitch, so dime farthings, but maybe not dime, maybe nickel. Nickel farthing, yeah, nickel. Let's turn that off. Let's turn the game capture on. Then press this button here, and it should. There it is. Look, a game. I love games. Don't you guys like games? So I tried to play this a couple days ago on Saturday when I was speaking to, but it was just too much. Like I was doing this, it had sound effects. The Lady Canooch was talking. Thomas can't hear Lady Canooch, so like he was talking over her and she was talking over it, and then I was having it crashed, and it was just too much. So I don't think we can do games plus Canooch plus Thomas and Popog at the same time because you were on there too, and it's too much. It's three people talking plus the chat plus chat was really good.
Chat with super heavy.
Yeah, we had a lot of people chatting last time, so it had to be
Hey man.
killed off. Hey man, BDZ, what's happening? Come on in, give us your political hot take. BDZ, hit us. I'm trying to get this video game up and running, and it's gonna run.
Her
It's gonna
thoughts
work.
on Jokic repeat.
On Joe repeat, I don't know what that is. Sorry, I'm not a cool guy. If that is some sort of young person,
Russian politician.
Russian politician. Okay, I remember the one that got killed recently. Is that the one you're talking about? The one that just got killed by Putin? He doesn't seem to me like he's not like the exact exact opposite of Putin. No, he's like 70 or 80% Putin, and he wants to be in charge, which is probably better. I'd prefer 70% Putin to 100% Putin, honestly. I wish he hadn't been murdered.
No sir, he plays Denver Nuggets on me fam. I thought this was basketball stream. I fucked up. I do take issue with your use of the term genocide, even if Israel ends up displacing Gazans. That would only be ethnic cleansing.
I don't.
Which it turns out everyone is actually okay with, since the solution to the settlements in the West Bank is ethnically cleansing the Israelis out.
I don't think there's a
Love
huge
you, man.
difference.
Good luck.
Thanks, Bedizi.
Why can't we have a basketball political stream?
Why can't we have a basketball political stream? That's the one with the orange bouncy ball, right? Remind me which one that is. I think that's the one. with the orange basket, the orange bouncy ball in the buckets. I could just say random sports words. Buckets. Um, net. Brick. Yeah, you put up a brick. Okay, great. What other sports words do I know? Not many, honestly. Um, three. You put up a lot of threes. Oh no, man. I don't know all the sports lingos. I don't watch any of them really. Um, Popog, the ethnic cleansing is genocide. They're the same thing. Uh, ethnic cleansing is giving them an option to leave. But I would say if the option is to smash into to be forced into the desert where there is nothing and hit a wall that Egypt built and they will kill you for going over it, then that crosses the line into genocide. Why did Canooch die again? Are you guys hearing Canooch? Nah, she died. Son of a bitch. Can't Canooch. Alright, let's try and hit this F5 button right here. I don't know if it'll work. Though I think it might. By the way, I heard your side has been having tough luck. Didn't. Okay. Sorry. One sec. Left top soldier Vosh get caught with CP and bestiality porn? I don't think so. But also, I'm not a drama channel, so I don't care. Can't Knooch come back? We don't stand Twitch here. This is Kick. I know. The Kick chat is usually where Knooch lives, but we're going to hit F5 on this one as well. And we're going to try and get Knooch back. Because I like her. It's fun. I get to hear you. Union mandated smoke break. Is that what it is? She's part of the union and I've been pushing her too hard. Welcome to the chat room. Gonna hit F5 again here on this third one. Then what we're gonna do is go over here, click this button, and we're gonna go to the robot, and we're gonna reload the robot. Reloaded successfully. Okay. Unions are bad. Tony, man, you are just striking out all night, aren't you? Unions are great and awesome, and there should be more of them. Unions are tiny little governments. Unions promote complacency and laziness. They don't have to. Public unions are bad. Private unions are fine. Some are good. Some are bad. Right. And if it's promoting complacency and laziness, it's a bad union, Tony. And I agree that they shouldn't do that. But the only other option is to allow the corporation to do what they want and tell you how often you can work and stuff like that, and then they get to be in charge, and you have no power and no authority, and don't have a damn say in any of your job. I would prefer people to be in charge rather than the corporation. I actually agree when you put it that way, right? And if they're doing a bad job, if they're holding on to bad people for bad reasons, then you should elect someone better. Unions are just tiny little governments that if you elect a bad, corrupt, crooked grifter, then that's what the kind of government you'll get. So if you elect good people to that union, because they are elected, right? I mean, the union has a treasurer, just like the government, and it has a constituency, and it has a vice president, a president, and a union, and you pay dues, which are just like taxes. Unions are tiny little governments. And that's the only way you can really prevent the corporation from running all over you. Canooch, my dear girl, has abandoned us again. I think it's because we have too many people in chat. Canooch worked really well when this was a smaller stream and no one paid attention to it. The problem is that the governments are always corrupt, at least as far as I've seen in my own lifetime. It's because, yeah, and to an extent, some are more corrupt. I would suggest that Joe Biden is less corrupt than Donald Trump. I mean, obviously, right? Uh, I should agree with you here, and one of the things I never hear when it comes to analyzing unions, the constitution of a union really, really matters. Yes, I agree. You could have a constitution of your workers' union. Yeah, you can have bylaws and set up what you're going to do with it. And if it's written by grifters, it will be very grifty. If we were smarter and it gave people more authority, more power, and it wasn't some secret weird crap, you could make a union that is better and works properly. And it's all about who you elect, as usual. The government doesn't have to be corrupt if we elect better people. Uh, it doesn't have to be the union doesn't have to be corrupt if we elect better people. I'm not sure it's just down to the creators being greedy. Um, well, it might be the creators being greedy, or it might be whoever gets in charge being greedy. Let's go to kick settings. Sorry, I'm looking at kick settings right now so that I can get this bitch back online. Chatbot. Yeah, you're right. A well-meaning union founder can craft a bad charter. It's all about system design. Yeah. I want what you're smoking. Great. What up, kid?
Hello.
Give us a political hot take, child.
Hatsune Miku,
Uh-huh.
it's real, actually.
Hatsune Miku is real. You heard it here first, folks.
You're playing,
I'm trying, but then the voice to chat thing died. I've got
what is
chat.
this, Diab Go? I don't know.
Modules,
It's
chat,
definitely not
voice
the real Diablo.
messages are off.
Like,
We're going to hit F5. Then we're going to turn voice messages back on.
is this
Why on? Okay. Hatsune Mickley is fake. Oh no, chat disagrees with you, Jake.
Oh.
Oh. You're putting him on the spot. Yes, okay, confirm. Yes, save these changes. TTS changes were saved successfully. Okay, let's double check that they're actually, oh, that's the wrong button. This button, make sure that it's on. And Tupac is the only hologram I believe in. It's true. Hatsune Miku is real, and this is what you're teaching your kids. That's right. That's what he picked up on the street. I didn't teach him that. Picked that up on the street.
Yeah, and I grew up on the streets.
He grew up on the streets, obviously.
The
You can
Miku
tell.
streets.
The Miku streets. All right. Get out of here, kid.
Okay. So what game is that?
That's called Last Epoch.
Okay.
It's a Diablo clone.
Well, yeah, I can tell that.
Okay, great. You can tell that.
Looked weird because there was no man.
I really just want Canooch to work. I don't know why she left us high and dry the way she did. Let me... Oh, how old am I? Like 41? Yeah. And that's a 15-year-old. I'm old. Yeah. 400 years old. I'm 111. I'm 11-1. This coming January. Yeah. 11-1. Uh, it seems like she's not coming back. I'm gonna hit one more thing real quick. Put this here. And then type in one test thing. No, not that one. The sideburns are that old? Yeah, it's true. The desktop audio is just not doing it. Ugh, man. Okay, I will try and keep my eye on chat. I apologize for the lack. And what I'm going to do, this is too many fails on Kanucha's part. We are going to have to abandon her. I know she has been a fickle mistress in the past. Uh, my System 32 folder is filled with things, and it is chasing her away. You're right. Good call. I should delete it and see if she comes back. I'll do that right after stream tonight. So yeah, this is Last Epoch. Um, it is a Diablo clone. It's okay. It's not great. It's not bad. I kind of like the leveling system, but then it's no Path of Exile. But I've played Path of Exile far too many times. So many times. And I always do the same thing anyway in Path of Exile. So I make a Chain Lightning Witch, and I get to about the third or fourth level of tier of maps, and then I'm like, man, this is too hard, and I quit for another 6 to 8 months. And then I come back to the new season, and then I do the exact same thing again. And I look at a dozen different builds. I never liked PoE. Looking forward to the new Grim Dawn expansion. I think I own Grim Dawn on Steam, but I don't think I've played it yet. I am very much looking forward to Path of Exile 2, that's for sure. They showed that on that last video. They showed the WASD movement with. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna WASD all day long while shooting chain lightning. So yeah, this one's okay. It's kind of got a neat little. Let's see if I can get a. In a sec, I'll show you the skill trees. And I'm not like power leveling or anything like that. I haven't checked a bunch of guides. So let's look at the skill tree. So there's the passives. There's the Necromancer, which I picked. I went total Zookeeper from Diablo 2, where you have all the summonses. So here's all my points in Necro, and you can put points in here, and this makes your armor thing. This does a thing. This does a thing. This does a thing, and then that does the thing. And if you put enough points in here, you're going to get Dread Shade once you get 30 points in here. And that's minion's health is drained by 3% of its max health per second for each second the shade has been active. But it and your minions around it deal 10% 10 necrotic damage with spells. Yeah, it's complicated. And then this is the Assemble Abomination. It's a big old bone monster. And if I want to be a warlock, I can put points into that. If I want to be Lich, I can put points into that, but only up to this point, you see, because I chose Necro. If you choose Warlock, this chain goes away, and and then the chain will be here on Necro. Does that make sense? So then, this is everybody can put points into any of the four can put points into here. So I might get all the way up here, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't know how hard I want to push into the bleed build, Then, each skill has its own thing. So here's my Skellingtons, my Summon Skellingtons, and then the Summon Skellington skill has its own tree. And the Summon Wraiths skill has a whole tree. And then my Bloodsucker, my Rip Blood, has its own skill tree. And then here's my Skelly Mages. And when I get to 50, which I haven't made it to yet, I'm only 40, I'll put my Bone Golem in there. And then you can make all of those better. So I kind of like that idea, that system that they've got going. It's a little bit more than the Diablo 4, and it's a little bit less than the Path of Exile. So basically, yeah, I just keep the zoo up and running, and then Rip Blood. So if you see the little red splotches that leave the enemy and come towards me, there's one. That's because I'm sucking their blood. and feeding myself. Programming note, we're going to try, Thomas and I, to play Baldur's Gate on Wednesday night. So, I know usually I do, on Wednesdays I would usually do what I did tonight, and that was read the news, read the politics, and then play a game. But Thomas really wants to do a video game stream. He thinks that it would be fun, and that sounds good fun to me. So we are going to attempt it on Wednesday at 7. We'll start at Baldur's Gate, create new characters, and stick to all our morals. He seems to think that I will make lots of different moral choices than he will. And that almost makes sense. I mean, everyone in Baldur's Gate is a bad guy, right? All your characters. I think we're going to create our own characters, though. I don't know how he wants to handle that. What class should I go? I think Bard with maximum dex, you know, so I can win all of the conversations and pick all the locks. Israel negotiates. Compare the two scenarios, specifically how you feel about them. Israel negotiates with Egypt and the Saudis to kick out 500,000 Gazans and turn them into refugees accepted by the aforementioned countries, or B, Israel carpet bombs and kills 500,000 Gazans 24 hours. With Egypt and the Saudis to kick out, turn them into refugees accepted by aforementioned. That's not going to happen. A is not going to happen. I would rather A happen, but I don't think it will. B is far more likely to be happening. And the only reason B hasn't happened already is because we're looking at them. I'm not even kidding. I think if we weren't looking at them, we weren't paying attention, they'd do B. I mean, did not a giant bomb land right during the Super Bowl when none of us were watching them? We heard about it later. Shinsuto says I should be the nicest necromancer that ever existed. Maybe. I did that during the Star Wars MMO. I made a dark side trooper who was on the Republic, who made only dark side choices and was a healer. So it was a nice little juxtaposition. I would scream kill them all and then just shoot a bunch of healing beams. So Popog, A is preferable, but Egypt and the Saudis do not want those people, and they won't take them in. Option B is genocide. Well, if you know if you don't do, I don't think Israel's going to do that first bit where they negotiate with Egypt and Saudis to kick 500,000 Gazans out. They're just going to keep bombing, and Egypt will put up a wall, which they already are. Egypt's putting up a wall. They're going to bomb them until they live in the desert, and then give them no food, give them no water, and then they will starve. That seems to be the path that is being taken. And you're right that there is some difference between genocide and ethnic cleansing. I agree. I think we're at genocide levels, honestly. Don't crash. It was crashing on me yesterday on those long load screens. That's the other reason you probably shouldn't go nuts for this game. Really bad loads. What happens convinces you that they're genocide levels? They are doing the big bomb during the Super Bowl when no one's paying attention. They're not letting aid through. They have no plan. They've not told us what their plan is. They just keep bombing, and they just keep telling them to go south into smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller areas, and then they keep taking land, and then they push them and push them and push them. And I think that they are going to get to pushed out of all the habitable areas, and they will end up in the desert with nothing. And then when the aid tries to come in, they will deny it. They will stop aid from coming in. They will stop water. They will stop food from being delivered to these people. And were the firebombing of Tokyo and Dresden genocide? If they were bombings, yes. Were they genocide? No. They weren't intending to prevent those people from were they genocide? No, I don't think so. Were they acts of war? Yes. Is there sometimes a difficult distinction between the two? Yes. The firebombing was intended to shock the entire country into not continuing. And it may not have worked. I don't think it did. It didn't, and some people, there's a couple of people who would suggest that it did, and they wanted to give up, but we dropped the bomb anyway, the atomic bombs anyway. But that's might be fringe historical theories. So, it's not so fringe. Okay, so they were ready to give up after those fire bombings, and okay, so if in 3 years Israel has completed its campaign and nobody has stopped them, and 500,000 Gazan citizens are still alive, but perhaps in Egypt, and not dying of dehydration, will you have been wrong? Yes, maybe. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a genocide. It would have been only cultural, or it would be only ethnic cleansing. Yes, I would have been wrong. But by then, it might be too late. And I don't think that's a good look either. Hey guys, we only did an ethnic cleansing. We promise. Well, no, let's stop that too. And if they're still in Gaza, it won't even have been ethnic cleansing, right? Well, if they give all the land back, then it would still kind of be ethnic cleansing. It would be very, very harsh anti-terrorist stuff with lots of civilian casualties. I mean, if Israel drew back, said, okay, you can go back to the places that you had and the land that you had, even though it's now bombed, and started giving them aid, started helping them out, then it would have been a police action with lots and lots and lots of innocent civilian casualties, which isn't a good thing either. We're very upset with that too. You're right, that kind of how it ends finds out whether or not it was a genocide or an ethnic cleansing or a very overly excited bit of policing. That's always the way, though, right? I mean, it's an attempted murder until it's a murder. You attempt a murder for like 20, 30 minutes, and then it becomes murder at some point.
Just for one, here I was, hoping this would lead us closer.
I mean, yeah, I'm just trying to lock down what your standards of evaluation are. Be extreme all the time. And they seem pretty normal. Okay, damn it. I'm going to have to kick it up a notch and be more extreme. All right. Nobody wants normal. You can't, this is why my stream numbers are so low, because I'm too normal. I'm going to have to really bump it up there, you know? All the fire jokes tonight didn't even get me canceled. But also, as I said earlier, you probably support some ethnic cleansing. I'd probably support some. I don't think so. I don't think I would. Are you setting a trap? Are you doing the debate trap? The removal of Israeli settlers from the West Bank is ethnic cleansing. They were sent there to do the ethnic cleansing. Same as the Golan Heights. The Israeli settlers are there to do an ethnic cleansing of the Palestinians. They're not just settling there. They're going there to take from the Palestinians. They're going there to take it. Bless their heart. That's precious. Blatjvig. What you think? Did I cross the line? Am I agree with that. Doesn't matter for the definition of ethnic cleansing. So, wait, follow me here. Those settlers did an ethnic cleansing, and then we said, hey, that's ethnic cleansing, you can't do that, and then we took them out. That also is an ethnic cleansing? I suppose it could be. I mean, somebody committed a murder, and then we said, oh, you're not allowed to do that, and then we killed him with the electric chair. So, I mean, we did a murder too. Kinda, yeah. Oh, you're right. I accept your tactic there, Popog. The liberal hypotheticals and wordplay don't really matter to me. It's not a game I'm interested in. That's what politics is, Vladivig. That's what politics is. Well, how do you do politics without word games? It's like the whole thing. I'm agreeing with you, Popog. If they did an ethnic cleansing and then we found out and then told them not to do that and then asked them to leave and then they left, that would be an ethnic cleansing. It'd be for a much better reason. I accept your definition. The games are what's deployed to keep the masses ignorant and non-participants too. I wouldn't say that what politics is at all. That's exactly what politics is. Politics is all based on feeling, even yours, and everything is political. That's the entire ethos of the channel. Everything is political, and it's all based on feelings. What was that? Okay. Those games that you're talking about are how we choose to do business. Can you draw a line between those two statements? And that politics is just games? No, politics is based on feelings. All of it. Everyone's politics is based on feelings. And everything is political. I mean, unless you get really right down to the real brass tacks of math, 1 + 1 equaling 2 is not political. But you do use Roman numerals rather than Japanese kanji, right? And if I drew a bunch of numbers in Japanese kanji from my class, maybe that's a political choice I'm making. So even math is slightly political sometimes. Everything is political. Everything. All the things. Top to bottom. Everywhere. When I learned that was the definition of ethnic cleansing, I was kind of pissed because it turns out that I don't really care about ethnic cleansing. You kicked all Floridians out of Florida, but gave them $1 billion each. It would still be ethnic cleansing. Yeah, I accept your definition there. It's just that there's usually, we use it to describe bad people forcing the people they don't like out. I don't dispute the ethos of the stream. I agree with the sentiments generally. I just don't see how you're connecting them to the earlier claim that, okay, which one? That wordplay and the liberal hypotheticals in wordplay are politics. Yeah, that's what politics is. Wordplay. But obviously, we wouldn't give a shit if that happened. The material outcomes are what would matter. Right, you're right. That's consequentialism. I think you're getting towards Popog. If we moved all of the people out, I didn't stop reading the kick chat. I'm sorry. Leftists are the point where they're lighting themselves on fire to get what they want. You know, I'm not even mad about it. Leftists, do your thing, bro. Stop reading kick chat. Yeah. Yeah, that's a protest. Would you prefer he shot a bunch of people up? I wouldn't prefer that he would shoot a bunch of people up. That's a bad thing. He has chosen to light himself on fire to make us pay attention to the thing that he thinks needs paying attention to. I hope it works. I hope Joe Brandon sees it and stops giving money and weapons to Netanyahu. I don't think it will. But it would be nice. Leftists don't use guns because they're scared of them, so I wasn't worried about that to begin with. The scared of them? I mean, you should be scared of them. Are you not scared of them? They do kill people. It is like their entire purpose is to kill people, right? Yeah, I hope it doesn't work. I thought the cop threatening to shoot him was really fucking stupid, though. That cop was just, yeah. Have you seen some memes? There's some memes. They've photoshopped him out and put him in other famous places. I saw him photoshopped out and put next to that monk that burned himself back in Vietnam in the 70s. And he's pointing his gun at that very famous photo of the monk burning himself. I thought that was hilarious. But I'm not going to show that on stream. Not scared of guns. I'm just not scared of automobiles or saws or kitchen utensils. Tools. Okay, great. Tony, listen. Boss, Tony, listen. What is the purpose of the saw tool? Does it have multiple purposes? It saws things. Yes. What is the purpose of the gun tool? To kill the thing you're pointing at. That's it. You can't turn a screw with a gun. You can't turn a wrench. You can't turn a nut. You can't turn a bolt. You can't tighten something. You can't make your you can't do home improvement with it. Hammers have a purpose. They pound nails. Can you use them as a weapon? Yes, but that's not like their intended purpose. The entire purpose of the gun is to kill the thing you're pointing at. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was a fictional movie. Also, that chainsaw can cut down a tree. Can you cut down a tree with a gun? No, you can't. And don't tell me that you can, because you can't. The purpose of the gun is to kill the thing that you're pointing at. What kind of lefty don't use guns? They talk about Dems. I know, right? The left does use guns, Tony. The left does use guns, Tony. It's the Dems that don't. The purpose of the M29 saw was to replace the M2 Browning and M60 with a lighter weight alternative. Seen a tree cut down with a shotgun by somebody wanting to make that point. I know, but that's not the right way to do it. Also, all you did was kill the tree until it fell over. I'm not going to say that you cut down that tree. You shot it until it was no longer upright. Not exactly the right way to do it, is it? Shooting a thing until it fell over isn't exactly doing it right. Unless you want the thing to die. They killed the tree. So I would suggest that that wasn't sawing and wasn't being used a tool properly. It was killing. Yeah, cut is probably not the right word for a shotgun. Exactly. You could cut down a tree with a gun. You never said what kind, lol. I know. It wouldn't be a good way. It would be a waste of bullets and ammunition and wouldn't get the job done efficiently or properly. And very likely to hurt somebody in the process. Cutting down a tree with a gun is just a waste of ammo and improper use of a tool. Yeah. So, am I afraid of guns? Only when they're pointed at me. usually that doesn't happen very often. Uh, and all I'm suggesting, I'm not suggesting that Obama should round up the Obama's jackbooted thumbs should come into your house and take all your guns. That's not what I'm suggesting. I uh, I would just like to have some background checks and register the damn things. But apparently that makes me some sort of pinko, commie, Nazi, Nash, Marxist. Apparently. Hey, I sure would like it if you registered those things. And then that immediately turns into people screeching at me. There you are, Bladvig. There it is. That's what happens when I say, "Hey, can we register these murder machines?" That's what I get right there. Get too sidetracked. Second Amendment is good. Leftists are mentally ill, and we need free speech. So a leftist can stay stupid. Shit, I'll defend their right to say it. Doesn't mean I agree. Okay, great. Well, I'm Tony. Who's coming after the free speech rights right now? It's not the left. It's the right. The right wing is absolutely coming after free speech. Right now. They are. If you watch the politics, they're telling you what you can and can't say. The Project 2025, which I mentioned earlier, tells you what you can and cannot write in government documents. You know, taking away free speech. It is the left and also the right. No, I don't think so. The left doesn't stop you from saying the thing. You're allowed to say it. It's just that you're not allowed to have a profile after that. If a company like Twitter sees that you're doing a bad thing and their intention is to make money, they're allowed to kick you off. It's okay. If Twitch or Kick or YouTube thinks that the things I'm saying are bad for their business, they're allowed to kick me off. That's not against my First Amendment rights. It's just not. Actual Pinko Commie Marxist over here. My primary concern is making sure the vulnerable and marginalized get guns. So it's not a bad plan, Bladvig. It really isn't. The Black Panthers used to do that back in the 70s. That's why back in the 70s, the Black Panthers started arming themselves, and then Ronald Reagan put gun control laws into California. Left is supposed to First and Second Amendment? No. On ideological grounds? Do you mean that the old school left? Those days are gone. College cunts and First A is outdated, and that free speech ain't good. I don't know where you're getting that idea, Tony. You've been lied to, Tony. The right wing has told you that they're not going to let you say what you want. They're lying. Mark said that under no pretext should we allow our guns to be taken. I just don't think that your right to have guns comes from the Constitution. I'm not saying you shouldn't have them. I'm saying let's register the damn things. They tend to murder people. Let's do a background check. Make sure you don't have any mental issues, and then you can have one. I think that's okay. You know what is against your First Amendment rights? Hate speech policies and publicly funded colleges, and which side promoted those? Hate speech policies on publicly funded colleges are increasing your freedom, not decreasing it. When everyone is capable of being comfortable in public, freedom goes up. And if that means you don't let people screech the N-word, then that's acceptable. If curtailing, I think the curtailing of bigots increases our freedom, doesn't decrease it. Follow me here. Imagine for a moment. Popog, you really do like the law. Imagine you started like a blog that was about the law and stuff like that. And you didn't have any sort of filter on the website. And anybody can go there and they can put up whatever comments they want. And they just really love talking about anime. And that's not what you want. That's not what you're there for. If they were really talking about it and they were stopping you from talking about the thing you want, you would be okay. I would be okay with you moderating it or making a separate channel for it, and that's okay. This streamer is biased in favor of the left, so he won't admit that the left nowadays opposes 1A and 2A. They don't. You've been tricked, Tony, into thinking that they do by people who want you to vote Republican. Well, your understanding is that odds with the standards set in Brandenburg, Ohio, is why I can't say the left opposes free speech in 1A. You're trying to gaslight us. No, I'm telling you my opinions and how I feel, Tony. You're telling me how you feel, and I appreciate that. Why do you feel like the left is anti-First Amendment? Why do you feel that way? Is that odds with the standards set in Brandenburg versus Ohio, which is why I can say the left opposes free speech. Popog, tell me more. How does the left oppose free speech? The left is all about freedom. Literally, that's the whole thing.
When you find time, you could take a peek at his nest.
But what I'm suggesting is that if there is enough bigotry, you won't be able to be free. Because I hadn't told him to think that way. Okay. Try to check that. I don't like that one. Junk. What's this? It's orange. Meteor fall speed. Want a meteor? I don't have a meteor. That's a magey belt. I'm going to put that in the bank in case I roll a mage. Hate speech policies, as you said yourself, are about comfort, which is not a cause for limitation. The government, colleges in this case, are allowed to use. The government and the colleges should make it a safe place for everyone. And if that means you have to police their language, I'm okay with that. That makes more freedom, not less. Is it control? Does it give you what I think you're talking about there, Popog, is free speech absolutism, which I do not subscribe to. Free speech absolutism is not a good idea. Hate speech policies, as you said. Yeah, okay. Yeah, free speech absolutism is not a good idea. That's not what I would push. An educational environment isn't meant to be a safe place. Higher learning is about bringing you out from your comfort zone. Great. And if people screamed angry slurs at you every time you were out there, you wouldn't want to go back. I'm not talking about absolutism. I'm talking about the standard set in Brandenburg versus Ohio. Well, then maybe that set up absolutism. Or maybe it didn't. I don't know enough about it. Tony, if there are people that if you don't feel comfortable in the place that you're supposed to go, if you don't feel comfortable in the public place, you won't go into the public place. And if you're intentionally trying to make it so people aren't comfortable, which is what happens back in the Jim Crow era, they made it so the black people would not be comfortable in certain places, intentionally to make them go away. That is anti-freedom, not freedom. No one is just screaming slurs all over the place. Let's bring the discussion back to reality. Yes, I agree. I was being exaggerative. But the Jim Crow South had laws on the books that prevented black people from doing the things that they wanted. It controlled their freedom. And I don't accept the free speech argument that they would have made back then. What you're saying is, I oppose 1A when you're supporting the standard you prefer. I support the freedom of people. And if the freedom of people means that we have to put some laws in place so people don't do the bad things with their freedom, that's okay. I don't have the freedom to go murder people, but I'm not going to say that the law against murder controls my freedom. You have a freedom of the First Amendment, freedom of speech, and I like it. I think it's a good idea, but it has restrictions. It has responsibilities that you have to take care of. So my freedom doesn't end where your feelings begin. No, but it ends to an extent where society begins. Kind of. Okay, where does it end? I agree that if it's just feelings, that's not a problem. But if you're making it so that other people don't feel free or aren't free to be in the same space as you, then you're lowering their amount of freedom, aren't you? We're gonna put the baby to sleep. Okay, good luck. Gaslighting? No. Just discussion. This is debate that we're having. First, it ensures my right to political opinions that you might find offensive. Yes. That's fine. Otherwise, what's the point of the First Amendment? To ensure that we have freedom. I like freedom. It's good. But if your freedom harms the freedom of 10 other people, I will suggest that we come to some sort of agreement on how to make this better. How to unfuck the situation. My statement still stands. The left is trying to limit and reduce 1A from its current standard, which unequivocally allows me to shout the N-word as loud as I want on a college campus. I am okay with that, Popog. I really am. You are using your free speech to harm people in that scenario, Popog. You are. You, Popog, in that thing that you just typed, you are using your First Amendment right to harm people. So what do we do when people use their freedom to harm other people? We make laws against it, right? You can be okay with it. My statement is still correct. Okay, answer this question though, Popog. If you used your freedom to take away freedom of others, what do? We make a law against it. And that's... Yeah, you have the consequences of your actions. And that means we kick you off of the thing. We kick you off your platform. We take you away from the place. We put you in handcuffs. Maybe we take you away from the people. Clowns to the left, jokers to the right. Popok has so far made better points, but I'm a biased observer. I will admit. Okay. Your statement is correct. Your statement still stands. The left is trying to limit and reduce the First Amendment from its current standard. No, they're not. They're using the standard properly. They're not lowering it. They're applying it, which unequivocally allows me to shout the N-word as loud as I want on a college campus. And you will face consequences. What happens is that people don't want to face those consequences. Freedom doesn't mean you don't have consequences afterward. If you do something like what you've written there, Popog, you will face consequences. And when the right wing has to face consequences, they scream that they didn't actually have the freedom. Thomas did this the other day when he was discussing his car being broken into again. He doesn't have the freedom to park his car where he wants because it will be broken into. You parked it there, consequence, unjust consequence, but consequences still happen. If you shout fire in the crowded theater, you will cause a panic, and those people will come screaming out, and then you'll be responsible for what you've done. And I'm okay with having some rules and some regulations and some plans in place. You're not allowed to use your freedom to harm other people's freedoms. I don't know what fire in the crowded theater means. You don't? Okay, boss. It was the famous situation of free speech absolutism. Do you have the freedom to scream fire in a crowded theater? I would say no, you don't. And if you did, you do have the right to do it, but then you are held accountable for your actions. No, free speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences, so to speak. I can't be legally penalized for being racist. I'm not racist. But those days, the left redefines everything, so 1A is the insurance policy against left maniacs. And when I get back from this, feeding baby, I'll destroy the facts logic because you're wrong about the history. Okay, great. Tony. Great, and those consequences are being removed from Twitter, being removed from YouTube, being kicked off of platforms, and being fired from your job. If you do the things that are bad for the business, they will get rid of you. If I do something bad for YouTube, if I do something bad for YouTube's business, they will destroy my channel. They have the right to do that. It's their company. If I go into work and I call my boss a fuckface, he has the right to give me a consequence and make me not work there anymore. This is acceptable. The leftist maniacs are saving you from the right-wing maniacs. So you're saying we should extend our civil rights to the workplace. Okay, I'm hearing you. Well, extend our civil rights. We already have some rights in the workplace, but not as many as I would want you to. If you walk into your job and you tell your boss he's a fuckface, he can fire you. That's not against your First Amendment. It's just not. If the government tried to stop you from calling your boss a fuckface or put you in jail for calling him a fuckface, then maybe you'd have a complaint there about First Amendment. But the universities are for everyone. They're a public place. I'm okay with them making it as pleasant for the entire public as can be. I'm okay with that. And that's why I would support the idea. Being aggressive towards someone would be grounds for dismissal insofar as it diminishes the capacity to get work done. I don't have an issue with that. You shouldn't get fired if you walk in to work with a MAGA hat on if everyone else is allowed to have political slogans and apparel use. I agree. You're allowed to have a MAGA hat on. I don't think that gets you fired. If you're making everyone else miserable because you're talking about politics, I'll tell you a secret. I never talk about politics at work. Not one bit. I have a dozen coworkers who don't even know I do political streams because I don't want those two things to touch. I don't want work to touch with the politics, okay? That's the right way to do it. A lot of people who wear that red hat don't have a personality except for that red hat, okay? You know the people I'm talking about. They have no ideas, they have no thoughts, they have only the red hat. And no, I wouldn't accept anyone being fired just for wearing the hat. But if you use it to harass people, then you can get fired. If you're harassing your coworkers because of that red hat, if you're using it to harm them, if you're starting political fights with them at work, then you should be moved to another place. And if it keeps up, then you get fired. I'm okay with that. That's not the company harming your First Amendment. That's not the government coming down on you. Politics and religion are the worst topics to talk about at work. I agree, so I try not to. But I think that they're fun. Just me telling you right now. I mean, I'm running a fucking politics stream, right? I love it. I think it's fun. They're the only interesting things we're talking about. And I'm a raging atheist, so that's the emo Waldo in chat. KBP made that emote for me when I really went on a fucking rant. Oof, atheist, yeah. Gladly and happily. Yeah, a lot of people who wear MAGA caps might be cultists just as much as a pink pussy hat postmenopausal Karen who love Hillary. Yes, you could have that as your entire personality. And that would be a bad thing. And if that person you described there with the pink hat is hounding their coworkers and harassing them and giving them shit and bringing up politics every 5 minutes and talking about the latest news, and they get to work, they do 1 minute of work, and then they go to the politics Reddit and they read this thing and they talk about loudly, oh my god, did you see what happened there? then they're doing a bad job, and they should be fired. They could be fired, and that's fine. I would accept that, even though they agree with me on all the things. Mages. Debate religion at all. Sorry, this get right with God. Hell ain't fun. Well, that's the great thing about it, Tony. There's no such thing. If you don't want to, I won't. I won't bring it up again. Let's see. KVP says there is a hell and it's in Gaza. Okay. What is this? Nope. That's the fun part about a game like this, is that you don't really need to think about it. I can play this while half asleep. I think I missed a spot though. Where is the map? There it is. I think I'm done there. Head back to town and then go that way. Yeah. Town portal. Oh, I got the blue quest done. I see. What is this game? I never understand what's going on in these. Play something we all understand, like Zelda or something. This is Lost something. Last Epoch or Lost Epoch. I don't remember. It's one or the other. Yeah, it's just a Diablo clone. Diablo clones are easy and fun
If we pull this off,
because you can do it while arguing politics. It's very easy, especially if you already know what path you're going to take. Mario would be cool. You should do Mario. What? I'm playing on a PC, man. I think it's illegal. There are some laws I won't even touch, and that's playing Mario on a PC. Okay, that shit is super illegal. I am streaming to you from a personal computer. Working class guy hates turtles. Tony, you could not be more wrong. Tony, listen to me. This is very important. Working class guy, yes. Hates turtles, yes. Probably red-pilled? No. He's a New York City plumber. He's a fucking union man. Tony, Mario and Luigi are fucking union plumbers. They're as left as you, they're as Democrat as you get. Sorry. You're thinking about it right in the right way. Like, yeah, they got the mustache, working class guys, but no, they're New York City plumbers. They're in a union. Yeah, and he shouts at Puerto Ricans. Yeah. He's probably a conservative type guy. He probably feels conservative, but he votes for the union rep, you know? That's what matters to him. Is New York 757 pipe fitters union, you know? That's what he does, you know? I have thought about this, and I have thought about it more than once. Where do you think Zelda fits in on it? Link. Where do you think Link fits? Because I've done a video about this before. Where do you think Link is on the political spectrum? Anybody in chat? Pop it in. Link. Oh, he's a simp. He's a Democrat. You think so, Tony? You could not be more wrong. Tony, listen. Link lives in the woods, hunts with a bow, carries around bombs. Telling you. And he plays musical instruments. He's Ted Nugent. He collects bombs and weapons. Lives in the woods. I'm telling you. He hunts. Yeah, he's an eco-terrorist. Yeah. Donkey Kong? I'm thinking, okay, so he wears a tie. Even when on his days off, he wears a tie. So there's kind of something there. He might be one of those, what are the missionaries that come to your house and tell you the good news? So yeah, I'm thinking Donkey Kong might be a, one of the Seventh-day Adventists or something like that. It's a big red tie. Yeah. He comes to your house and tries to tell you the good news of Jesus. And so I'm thinking that maybe that's him. Let me think. Donkey Kong. He eats the bananas. He rolls around. Yeah. I don't know if he's got a whole lot of politics other than he rides the animals. He rides the fishes. He lives in the jungle. So fights the crocodile. Fights K. Rool. I'm not sure. Other than telling you the good news, I don't think he's got anything else going on really. But I'm willing to hear your ideas. How do you feel about him? I don't think DK would vote Trump. Probably not. I mean, he's a libertarian. He's a sovereign citizen. Oh, I like that. He just wants everybody to leave you alone. He's got the secret code that if you just say, "Am I being detained?" Ooh, Donkey Kong getting pulled over by the cops, and he's like, "Am I being detained?" I have a freedom of movement, sir. Did you know that the gold fringe around that flag means that this is an Admiralty court? He's in his Mario Kart. Yeah, he's in his Mario Kart saying the gold fringe around that flag means it's an Admiralty court, and we're not on the ocean, so. And then DK would definitely be a libertarian who doesn't want the tax man to take away those barrels he's hoarding. Yeah, I wasn't driving, I was traveling. Exactly. Yeah, okay, I think we got Donkey Kong nailed down as a sovereign citizen. I love that. Spells his name only in lowercase letters. Does Donkey Kong? No, Donkey Kong's name is all caps. Maybe he's found the loophole. He screams about the loopholes while in front of a judge who just absolutely is not having any of it. Samus from Metroid? Bounty hunter. So she's Dog the bounty hunter, right? She's she doesn't care. She's kind of a Mandalorian, maybe. She wears the armor. She never takes it off. Donkey Kong speaks in all caps all day, maybe. No, Samus is a bounty hunter. Yeah, I think she'd be right wing. She doesn't really respect the law. She just uses it as a way to get money. Maybe. She's Dog the bounty hunter. She gives her she's a former soldier, now turned local cop. Yeah, man, that's true. She's a soldier. She's a local cop now and a bounty hunter. I think she's right wing. Yeah. She makes TikToks about how she's not like the other girls. It's a whole thing. What about Wario? Kleptocracy. Wario just takes what he wants, right? Like Wario, like literally, like stole like an entire kingdom. He stole in his original couple of video games. He like stole all the coins. He took them all. He was terribly greedy, and that was like his thing. That's just straight up Mitch McConnell, maybe. He's a grifter. He's a super grifter. Ooh, he's a super grifter who will just say whatever. And to get them coins. So who do we want to compare him to? I don't know who does anything, says anything to get coins. Alex Jones? Yeah, well. Okay. Wario is Alex Jones. Yeah, he'll say anything to get the people to pay attention to him. Buy Alpha Brain. Fuck, if anybody's gonna sell Alpha Brain, it's Wario, right? Buy my Alpha Brain pills, folks. They're non-GMO. Waluigi's an anarchist and a pirate. Okay. Waluigi, do you mean pirate as in on the open seas, or like pushing for the dissolution of all copyright law within the entire planet? Like no copyright kind of pirate? I kind of like that. He's just pushing for, well, yeah, because he is like a bad clone of Luigi, right? So, he's a copy of a copy. Waluigi is a copy of a copy of a copy, because Luigi is a copy of Mario. Wario is a copy of Mario, and Waluigi is a copy of the copy of a copy. So, he would not be in favor of copyright laws. He would be down with that shit, right? He's running Pirate Bay servers, you know, with the torrents and whatnot. That's what Waluigi does, man. Waluigi's going to jail for 900 years for hosting a handful of music and movies on his server. That's Waluigi. And he's unrepentant, too. Like, he's not even sorry he did it. He'll look you right in the eyes and tell you he did it. He runs the Silk Road. Yeah. He's really into crypto. That way the feds can't catch him. Instead of the web, it's the dark web. Yeah. Princess Peach has a Stormfront account on the Dallop. I don't know, maybe. Okay, so Princess Peach, she gets kidnapped a lot. She might be the Koopa, the mother of all the Koopas. She's definitely in charge of all the Toads. She literally uses the Toads as human shields in Smash Brothers. And she has sideburns. I know we talk about sideburns on this channel a lot, but Princess Peach has sideburns, right? Uh, uh, but is she secretly racist? I don't know. Maybe she's just nationalism for. She's an imperialist. I think that's where I was headed to. Is she's nationalist for her country? You know, like she's mushroom supremacist. You know. I'm worried she would build a big wall, Lady Putin. She is an Aryan princess who seeks to lead a I can't pronounce that word. A cool army. I think you're right, Tony. She's an Aryan princess who seeks to lead an army. Yeah, mushroom supremacist, you know, and I think you might be onto something there. She's a Lady Putin. Maybe. What Smash characters we got? Can't think of any that would have specific stuff. Alright, you ready to be destroyed? Well, we're in here trying to figure out. We just found out that Donkey Kong is a sovereign citizen. It's like a thing now. And now we know. Alright, so I'm wrong about this whole fire in a theater thing. This will be the last thing we do tonight because it's almost 9 o'clock. I gotta go to bed. So Donkey Kong is a freeman on the land. It's true. He got pulled over in his cart and asked if he was being detained. Said he wasn't. He wasn't driving. He was traveling. It's a whole thing. And you missed all of it, Popog. I'm sorry. But the stream has to go on without you. But you were going to destroy me with facts and logic. Tell me how I'm wrong about the screaming fire in a crowded theater. Fire in a crowded theater comes from a now overturned case called Schneck versus United States. Okay? Still seems like a bad idea to me. I don't know, but now I'm kind of wanting Nintendo Sisters. Yes, I'll wait for the next Switch or whatever you're going to call it. Don't step on snack. It's true. And it specifically means the socialist Jews who protest against the war, World War I, by distributing Yiddish pamphlets can be jailed. Okay, that's not what I'm using it to do. That's not what I'm using this turn of phrase to do. So fire in a crowded theater means as free speech limitation is similar to saying jail Bernie Sanders. As a free speech limitation is similar to saying jail Bernie Sanders. Okay, yeah. It's free speech can have consequences. And if you're using your free speech to harm people, we should not let you do that. Should have some consequence to using your freedom to harm other people's freedoms. That's what I was trying to get at. I'm getting it from where that phrase occurs in the United States law. Okay. Yeah, well, I don't use it as a law. I use it as a cool little turn of phrase. If you shout fire in a crowded theater and people are harmed, I want you held responsible. Am I a crazy person for saying that? Second sentence on the shouting in the fire. Yeah. That's the law, that's the case where it popped up. That's where it came from, where it was popularized. Great, I'm taking it back. Okay? I'm taking it back. It's my phrase now. And if it's copyrighted, I'll create a new one. What's the new version of it? If you shout active shooter in a crowded movie theater. You yell shooter in an elementary school. Yeah. If I yell shooter in an elementary school. He's got a gun! I walked into elementary school and I just screamed, he's got a gun! I'm doing harm, man. And if I'm doing it with the intent of doing harm, that's even worse. If I was just incorrect or panicky or scared to death, and I thought I actually did see a gun, I should face some consequences. If I'm doing it to troll people, to harm people, then maybe I should face some consequences. Because at that point you're not trolling. If people are harmed by your troll, it's not trolling anymore. The unofficial motto of the stream is to ABC, always be trolling. But if you're harming people, it's not trolling anymore. The poor gentleman who's trying to take his shit in Home Depot and said, "Get out, I'm fixing to blow it up." Well, he was just wrong, you know. You misunderstood what he meant by blowing it up, maybe. It was awful. The cop showed up and the news did a segment on it. Oh my god! I thought you were joking. I thought you were making a new saying. But this is a real thing that happened. Okay, great. Well, I hate that. You can try to reclaim the phrase just as I can try to reclaim the term blankety blank by shouting on college campuses. And if you harm people in saying so, if I harm people by using the description of fire in a crowded theater, I would be held responsible. Clerks 2 references. Yes, I love them myself. And that's why we're taking it back. I'm not taking back I don't want to scream fire in a crowded theater. That's not my intent. My intent is to describe what I'm talking about when I'm arguing online. Who died? Let's put some more skeletons. More skeletons. Some skelly mages. I'm gonna finish this boss, then I'm gonna go back to town, and I'm gonna call it a night. Because we had a really good stream tonight. And we're gonna go out on a high note of all the video game characters and where they are politically. Popog, you got any hot takes on who's what? We figured out Link and Mario and Luigi and Waluigi, Samus. We got them all. You're just gonna have to go back and watch all the rest of the stream. Pump my numbers up. I'm gonna Alt Tab. I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna press this button and go to the face cam right there. I mean, Peach is obviously what? Oh, where did the chats go? Oh, a monarchist. Well, yeah, we came to the conclusion that she's an imperialist, and wants mushroom supremacy. If you're here, if you're watching, if you're paying attention, one, why? Two, thank you. Press the like button, press the sub button, become a follower. It'll turn a frog gay. You know you want to. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Everybody, we did great tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause, chat, honestly. You have just absolutely done one hell of a job tonight. And you deserve some claps. So let's slowly press the button and then scroll down as the thing loads, because I do have a video game running at the same time, to do some claps. Clap. I'm not a clever man. It just didn't show up. All right. You guys are great. I'm a wreck. I'm terrible at this job. I appreciate you being here, though. My name is Waldo, and I will be back on Wednesday to play Baldur's Gate with... Please clap. We're doing a whole George Jeb. Please clap. I will try to fix the Lady Canooch. And maybe we don't have Canooch up and running while we're playing Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate does have a whole lot of music and dialogue, honestly. And then he and I are going to be talking the whole time. So we'll have chat. I'll look at chat. I'll be watching it. I don't know how it's going to go. I just do not know if it's going to go well, if it's going to go badly, if it's going to be a shit show. So come by and find out on Wednesday, 7 o'clock. We will play the Baldur's Gate. We will make characters and try to stick to our own moral philosophy with those characters. So he's going to be a conservative, I'm going to be a liberal, and we're only going to push for our causes. Lady Canooch is going to have to be replaced, and I'm going to have to find out. This is three times that she has failed on us, and that's not enough. We're going to have to find a new Canooch. And if you would like to, and I'll be ABC. Yeah. KVP's ABC. KVP, you're the one killing Canooch, aren't you? You son of a bitch. I'm on to you. All right. That is it for me tonight. I appreciate everybody who is here. You're all wonderful. Thank you very much.